All right, so last season I became Gladbach manager to save them from relegation and take them back to their former glory. Made some big signings like Karen Canate, Aiden Heaven. We also brought in Costulas from Brighton, Oscar Bob from Manchester City, and Jan Boho in from Toulouse, and also bringing Bayindir to be a first-team goalkeeper to try and help us achieve greatness last season. And we made it to the Pokal final, where we took the lead against Bayern, but in the end, Bayern were too much for us. As you'll see here, they got a fairly fortunate goal there from a corner. We tried to clear it, but it fell straight back to them. And later in the game, Luis Diaz would score to make it 2-1 and win the Pokal for them. We did finish third in the Bundesliga though, but as you'll see, we did not manage to win the Pokal, unfortunately for us. There's the stats of the players you can see. We're from an absolutely incredible first last season. Let's get into season 2 and with some big signings to improve the team. And to start season 2 off here, we're making a big signing, bringing Dennis Zakaria back into Gladbach. As the former Gladbach player, the Swiss CDM, we're going to convert into a centre-back in this team. He's going to take over from Verdi in the centre-back role in the centre or to the right-hand side, depending where he feels best to play. He's going to join us here for 24 million from Monaco, the 29-year-old now. So like I said, it was a great player for Gladbach when he was there. Obviously moved to Monaco after, I believe he went straight from Gladbach to Monaco. It's been a pretty good player for them over there. But he's rejoining Gladbach here now, back in Champions League football, and should be a fantastic player for us in the centre-back role. If not, we can move him back to CDM, and he should do well for us in either position. And signing here for Spurs is going to be Luka Vuskovic to take over from Joe Scally in the centre-back. Right, that is because he wants to leave the club. His contract is expiring at the end of the season, so I might have to sell him and bring in a replacement. But Vuskovic joins us here from Spurs to partner up with Zakaria and also Aiden Heaven at centre-back, and should be a great player for us in the team. And being signed to be a backup defender for us as a straight swap for Scally is Jordan Bayer, the German defender from Burnley. Has been a great player for us. It's signing for them a few seasons ago. Has been a good defender, and we know how good he can be in FC. We used him, I believe, in FC25 at some point. He was a pretty good defender for us, or FC24, one of the two. But he's signing here for us to be a backup defender. Could also come into the first team if necessary. As I said, a straight swap for Joe Scally. We're also going to make one more signing, which is another straight swap for a backup player, which we'll see here in a second. And also signing up the straight swap for Covanci, the striker who was sent out on loan last season, is Crepin Diatta, the 75-rated 27-year-old right midfielder. Is going to be the backup to Oscar Bob in the first team. We are going to sell Honorat. We're still yet to sell him, but he's going to come in to be a backup player. You guys wanted to see him be signed in a team. 87 pace, 5'9", decent stats overall, some good play styles as well. Anyway, and he could be a pretty good backup player for us in the team off the bench late in games, but he joins us here, like I said, for a straight swap, so we didn't have to spend much money on him other than wages. And as you can see, we made the big money instead of Frank Honorat heading to Bayern Munich for 34 million. We managed to get as much as money out of Bayern Munich as possible. I'm surprised they actually accepted the 34 million offer when I asked for it. We also brought in a young striker, by the way, from the free agency, as you can see, as a 75 rated player. Doesn't really have much potential. I think he's got 82 potential, if I'm not mistaken. But stats-wise, looking pretty good. And I thought, you know what, we might as well bring him in instead of letting him go to somewhere else. He can be a pretty good backup striker for us in the team. Let's get back into the transfer window. Buy some more players after getting some big money for Honorat and some other players we have sold. You can see lots of Carter and Pesh leaving as well. And starting from Leipzig, the takeover from Neuhaus in midfield alongside Rocco Reis is going to be Niklas Seedveld, the former RB Salzburg midfielder, if I'm not mistaken. Now playing for Leipzig these days, the Austrian, who's 79 rated, 25 years of age, was signing for 21 million. I was close to actually going for Goretzka instead, but you guys wanted Seedveld to take over that position, so I brought him into the team. Goretzka would have been cheaper and technically better into the stats and rating right now, but Seedveld, like I said, is 25 and can develop as well alongside Rocco Reis in midfield. And for only 21 million is a pretty good signing that we can bring into the team. Like I said, develop and make him a world-class midfielder alongside Rocco Reis in the centre of the park. And for the first game of season 2, we're taking on Wolfsburg here, a team I'm not so sure where they're finishing the table last season. I think we're down in mid-table positions, but we can take them on a decent team. There's some decent players in the team, like Patrick Vermeer, how good he can be from the Wolves series as well. And because we're going to start our usual team, but other than, well, our usual team, we're going to do signings like Vuskovic, Dennis Zakaria, Seedveld into the team. Also, Costulas is going to start a striker over Konate. As you guys suggested that we should give Costulas a run in the first team. Konate's been pretty good for us as a first team striker, but we should give Costulas a chance to play that position as well. And also, at the end of the episode, we're going to try that word, I can't even speak. We're going to talk about a potential transfer we can make regarding the goalkeeper position, because Bayindir, I don't think it's going to grow that much this season, and I would like to develop him as a goalkeeper. I think he would be great. I mean, he should have got up overall last season. I mean, he is 76 rated with a +5 in this rating, as you can see right there, which means it's technically an 81 rated in the goalkeeper position in game. But we could make a decision on bringing a high-rated goalkeeper into the team, and maybe a former player, back into the club. But first of all, let's get to Seedvold, also Vuskovic and Zakaria. Other than Zakaria, their debuts in this team. Because Zakaria is making a return to the team. Let's get into this one though, up against Wolfsburg, and hopefully start the season off with a big win away from home in the Volkswagen Arena. And I think I saw in the intro that they've got Mikkel Oyarzabal. They've also signed Mott Gahey into the team, so they made some massive signings. They've got Morris still, Skov Olsen. They've signed Mikkel Oyarzabal, and also, as you can see right now, Mott Gahey. It's massive for them. Here's Lovre Meyer, the Croatian. Skov Olsen, good defender from Aiden Heaven, who was incredible for us last season. Giovanni Reina was also incredible for us. Schuster Machino. Into Giovanni Reina. You can try to get this into Kostulas. You can try to get it back to Gio Reina, but there's Johnston, I believe the Celtic defender, gets that clear. Seedvold. It would have been a great pass, but Johnson intercepts again. That was going to go straight through to Gio Reina, and that would have been 1-0 to us. He sent for Kostulas. He has done the Greek striker running through, he shoots, and he's denied there by Kamil Gravara to Lovre Meyer. Or through to Skov Olsen. That's going to be good defending from Vuskovic though. Pass. Back into Seedvold. Can he hit them from range? The Austrian does so. The Austrian is denied by the Polish shot stopper. Oyarzabal to Jakub Kaminski. Seedvold intercepts. Can we get that back to Bayende? Yes, we can. Can we get it out? Wolfsburg looking pretty good, looking pretty dangerous in this game, and it's a good save from Bayende. We're hoping that he can continue his incredible form from last season. Shooting Machino. Here finds Seedvold, the Austrian CDM, getting forward. Could he shoot and score? No, he can't. Cabrera makes a good save again. We have 2 games to play here in the final first episode of the season. So we always end it on the deadline date. Here is Oscar Bob. Lovely move there from him. Could he shoot and score? No, we can't. Cabrera makes another big save. As head to come on the attack with Skov Olsen. This could be a goal for Wolfsburg out of nowhere from a corner, but it's going to be bad from him and great defending from Aiden Heaven. God, it was him there, not Vuskovic, who is a little bit quicker. And now we can counter ourselves here. Giovanni Reina. Mott Gahey makes the error. And Kostulas, can he make him pay? Yes, he does. Gahey should have stayed central there. He should have stayed on Kostulas, because then we wouldn't have been able to make the play. Not too sure why it's showing the centre circle. Interesting. But it was a great play there from us to score the goal. But otherwise, well, there we go. There's the replay. And Kostulas opens the scoring here. He's played great in the team so far. That striker have been unlucky not to score so far in this game. Cabrera's made some massive saves in defence. Their defence has been pretty good. But we finally break the deadlock here with that goal. It pushes ahead. On to the boxer, to Mohamed Amora. Now Jerian plays it inside, shot taken, and it's hit the post, and thankfully we can get that away. I knew I was going to almost concede from, I could still concede from kick-off here. If I do so, it's going to be frustrating. There you go, Rocker Wright's great defending. Rocker Wright, wait for straight back to Lovre Meyer, and that's going to go through to Amora. He's probably going to score here. Now he's hit the crossbar. How did he not score, but they still have possession. Amora still has it, because interception from Sander. Jan Boho. Karim Konate intercepted by Johnston. Rocker Wright's good steal. And that should be into the game. A really stressful end to the game. A 1-0 victory over Wolfsburg. A deserved victory. Wolfsburg played pretty good, to be fair, but we deserved a victory in the end. And the goal from Kostulas was the difference. And we get our first 3 points of the season, which was to see. And as you can see, stats-wise, the game was pretty even. Wolfsburg were a good challenge, but Bayende, man of the match rating from him. Pretty good game from him. Aiden Heaven should be higher rated. Same with Seedvold as well. They played pretty good. And a good first start. Well, good game to start the season off with. And a good challenge against Wolfsburg. But in the end, we'll come out a better team with the 3 points. And for the final game of today's episode, we're going to take on the team that finished second place in the Bundesliga last season in Borussia Dortmund. We finished third in the table and lost the Pokal final to Bayern Munich. Let's get into this one. The only change for the team is going to be Oscar Bob. He's going to be playing as an inside forward on attack on that right hand side. So I want to see how that works with this team. It could be an error. It could go wrong for me massively. But let's get into this game at Borussia-Park and hopefully defeat Dortmund here to get our second 3 points of the season. Good defending from Rocker Wright. So Oscar Bob, I hate when that happens in this game, man, where you take a touch and your player just runs into the defender. Good defender from Vuskovic there. Seedvold. That's a Gio Reina, their former player. He does have a £50 million release clause, by the way, in this team, and it's worth about 20 million. So we're hoping that we can get rid of that this season. The ball through. It's going to be overhit though. Back to Bellingham. As he comes forward here with the ball. Ball into the centre to Grassi. Vuskovic, good defending there from him. Actually to Machino. I'm hoping that he can, like I said last game, has it been assisted by Vivian to begin with there? But we're hoping he can be the player that he was last season for us. He had 26 goals and like 9 assists or something like that, or somewhere around there. He was incredible for us. Grassi, shot taken from range, straight into goal by end there from him. Good for us so far in this game. Similar to Wolfsburg in the last one. Shoko and Wecker. How's he got through there? He shoots and he's hit the post thankfully low. Ball through the centre. Grassi shoots by Inde, big save. Maybe we don't need to sign a new goalkeeper because he's been playing incredible for us, to be fair. Ball into the centre. Grassi's header straight to by Inde though. Why was Oscar Bob defending Grassi on the corner? Casillas. That was meant for Machino. The passing is just not going where I want it to, man. Like, why did I not pass it to Machino there? It's making a run for the centre. Look at Seevold. We're looking pretty good. Oh, of course, the second I go to say we're looking pretty good. We misplaced an easy pass. What he's been doing for us last season so far this episode. Been a fairly quiet player in the team. Lovely play here. Casillas. How has he lost the ball there? This is our performance. We're just, I think, unlucky. Then Boho. Canate. Lovely move. Casillas on the turn. Can he shoot and score? Yes, he does. Our first shot of the game in the 75th minute. We finally get a goal. It's been like trying to break a brick wall with your fist. That's what I can describe this game as been. Trying to break their defence down. That's our first shot of the game. And thankfully we've got great defenders like Zakaria, Aiden Heaven, Vuskovic, even Baindes with some big saves for us. And Casillas scores again. This time to put us ahead in this one. He spins the defender. I thought for a second it would have been defended, but he gets a shot away, beats Kobel, and makes it 1-0. But in the Wolfsburg game, we almost conceded straight from kick-off. And knowing Marlock in this game, it's going to happen. Oh no, Chuk and Wecker. And they come straight on the attack with Vuskovic. There we go. And Boho, your toy should win that header. Of course, you haven't done so. Oh no, we're going to concede straight from kick-off. Ademi. I knew it. Someone tell me how Boho was outdrunked by whoever that was. I mean, to be fair, they've looked like scoring goals, yes, but that is so frustrating. Straight from kick-off. Just because Boho couldn't win a header. Oh, maybe here. Crap in the attic, can you score? And kick off for your... What just happened? What just happened? Just because of how frustrating it's been. But we could get a loss here. So we can't get the ball off them. Hitting Brand. Vuskovic could defend. He's played great, to be fair. And it's going to be the end of the game. It's going to be a 1-1 draw. Against Dortmund. The goal straight from kick-off from them. Still is a point from us. And that is frustrating. That is so frustrating. That Crepin Diatta miss. I don't even know what happened. They made me a straight bottom corner. And the shot went closer to the corner flag than the goal. And it was such a frustrating game. I don't know what happened, man. But I really don't. I couldn't tell you what happened in that game. It just felt like every time I got an attack going, Dortmund were just there. No matter what. You know what I mean? They were just always there perfectly, making the perfect challenge. Last minute, whatever, they just always got the ball off us. And I feel like we should have done better in that game. We definitely should have done better. It was a poor performance from us, but it wasn't actually, I don't know. It's one of those where like it looks like a poor performance, where it wasn't. We just couldn't create anything. And well, that's going to call it for the end of today's episode. Currently sit third in the table. We finished last season on 4 points. You can see after the draw and the win, Bayern Munich are the only team to win both games as expected. They didn't lose a single game last season, by the way, in the Bundesliga and the Pokal. They went on to the domestic double, obviously beating us in the final of the Pokal. And you can see money-wise, we've got 26 million left to spend. And like I was saying, goalkeeper-wise, we could make a big signing to improve the team. But India's only 76 rated. It's going to go up to a 77 rating this season at some point. But I'm not sure after that how much it's going to go up in rating. So, in terms of goalkeepers, we've got a few here. We've mainly got two. Urbik here because he was a player that we had on the shortlist at one point. And we've got Robin Ross, who is 78 rated. Dutch, obviously, incredible goalkeeper for Sunderland. He's been doing incredible for them. We'll bring him into the team and develop him and make him higher rated. Or we could go for the ready-made option and bring back to Stegen to Mönchengladbach and obviously try and develop by India behind him just in case he can take over at some point. But to Stegen would be obviously cheaper, stats-wise a lot better, 34, he is taller, shorter, than Robin Rose, as he is much higher rated than him. It would be a great player to bring back into the team and could be incredible for us in the squad. Other than that, I don't think we're ready to do much money-wise. I mean, we've got players on the shortlist you can see that we could bring into the team with the money we have. Now we could maybe sign at some point, but I just don't know what we need ready in the team. Alex Scott's been a player I suggest that we could bring into the team as well. Maybe if we're bringing into Stegen, we could bring in Alex Scott. I'm not too sure how much game time we would get. Goretzka's a player that I did want to bring in. We've got a couple of right mids here that we could have brought in as a backup instead of Diatta, like Reece Nelson, and also, well, some other players that we did have, but I took a bunch of them off. And I can see just about a shortlist, we've got a bunch of players that we could bring in at some point into the team, like Finn Yelch we could bring in, and Mandy Collins, depending on his development elsewhere. The same with maybe like a Calvin Bassey as a high-rated defender we could bring into the team. And other than that, the main talking point is goalkeeper. Did we keep Bayern there for the season, or did we bring back to Stegen, or bring in Robin Rose from Sunderland into the team? Let me know down below what we do. If we do bring in Robin Rose, I think that will be most of our money spent and will be our final signing of the window. But otherwise, did we also switch to the 3-5-2? I mean, this formation worked brilliantly for us last season, but in today's episode, it didn't really work out the way I needed it to. Machino didn't really play as good as he was last season, and overall, we just didn't look the best team possible. In that Dortmund game especially, we looked poor, like really badly. Because Stilas is going to start in the team and score 2 goals for us so far. If we do switch to the 3-5-2, I'll show you how it looks lined up real quickly. I need to change it around a little bit, bring some players into the team. Obviously, we would have Machino, Canate, or Casillas up front together. I feel like Machino would be a good striker to have in that position. Gioreno in the camera, Oscar Bob at right mid, Ulreich at left mid. And also we'd have Seefold instead of Neuhaus, and also bring in Zakaria and also Vuskovic instead of Jordan Bayer. Even though Jordan Bayer would be a good defender for us in the team, also we need to bring Vuskovic as he's a younger talent we need to develop. And also bring Seefold into the team instead of Neuhaus. If I can select CDN, that'd be great. There we go. And bring him into the team. That's how it would pretty much look. So let me know down below what we should do tactics-wise. Should we try this out in this episode and see how it plays for us? And if it doesn't work out, switch back to our usual formation. And should we make a big signing for the goalkeeper position? That's going to call it for this one. Thank you for watching. Drop a like and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching, and goodbye.